Good day, my super fantastic science boffins. Just to let you know, I miss you all. Your faces, your energy, and the amazing science lessons we used to have. Hope you are ready for today's lesson. Let's have some fun. Grade 6s, today we'll be talking about electrical circuits. Now, we're just going to do a bit of an introduction to electrical circuits and we'll move forward. Please remember your instructions. You need to have your date and your heading written down in your book. Remember to write neatly and make sure it's written down clearly. Please use some color in your book. I would also like to ask you to have all this information provided in this PowerPoint video in your book, as well as to make sure if you have the notes printed out, you can paste them in your workbook. Please make sure you go through these notes with me during this video lesson and even after. Once you are done, don't forget to rule off. Let's get started. We're going to look at some important terminology under electrical circuits. Now, a source. A source is where a thing comes from or starts. So the source of energy. Where does it come from? Then you get a device, something that changes one type of energy into a different type of energy. So this device could change something like electrical energy into light energy or wind energy into power energy. Now we get an output energy. This type of energy is after what has gone through a device. So that is the output energy where the light bulb turns on. Then you get components. These are the different parts of something that make up something. So the components of a circuit would be the different parts that make up a circuit. The pathway is the track that someone can walk along, a track that electricity can travel along. So the pathway of electricity runs from negative to positive. Then we talk about our control device. This would be your switch, whether a device is on or off. Let's take a look into the transferring electrical energy from one place to another. Now, an electrical circuit is a system that we use to transfer energy from one place to another. Now, remember, every circuit has a pathway. This is the way electricity flows. Now, remember, electricity flows from negative to positive. The circuit is used as the pathway for electricity to flow from an energy source to where it is needed and back to the energy source from where it came. So we need to have a look at, how did the light switch on? Well, remember, we needed electricity, so that's where it started. We switched the switch on, which allowed the electricity to flow, and then once you switched off, it went back. Now remember, it would have had to come from the circuit board in the house. So let's just think of that again. The circuit is used as the pathway for electricity to flow from an energy source, so from where the energy came, to where the energy is needed, and then it goes back to where the energy came from. The circuit provides the pathway for the energy to flow back and forth. So we need the circuit in order for electricity to travel safely. Remember, it needs a pathway for the energy to flow back and forth. And we need something to insulate and protect that electricity and to protect us from the electricity. Now, the cell stores and supplies energy to the circuit. So a cell is what actually provides us with some energy in our circuit. Now, a cell is part of our electricity, and many cells make up a battery. A circuit can have more than one cell connected to it to provide a higher voltage of electrical current. So one cell, but then we have many cells, which then becomes our battery. Transferring electrical energy from one place to another. So now we need to look at the pathway for electrical energy to flow needs to form a closed loop. So for electricity to flow, it needs to form a closed loop, meaning that our copper wires, which is our conductor, needs to completely close to each point for electricity to flow, meaning if we have an open circuit, electricity cannot flow.
So the pathway for electrical energy to flow needs to form a closed loop, a closed circuit. That means electricity flows. But if the loop is open, electricity cannot flow. So if we have a closed circuit, electricity cannot flow, meaning the lights or the electric device we are powering will not switch on. Now, we can create a closed loop or a closed circuit by using and joining electrical wires. Now, we use copper wires as this is the best conductor of electricity. So, for us to form a closed loop, or as we know it, a closed circuit, we need to use copper wires, and by joining them, we form a closed loop. And remember, copper wires are the best conductors. Now, we call this closed loop an electrical circuit. A closed loop, which is an electrical circuit, you can also know as a closed circuit. Now, when we have an open circuit, this is when electricity cannot flow. I'd like you to take a moment just to look at the pictures at the bottom. Both of them, the first one we have on the right is a simple electrical circuit that is closed and the light bulb is on. Remember, electricity flows from negative to positive. Then we have a second circuit which has a light bulb, our wire, our battery and our switch. And then we've got a picture of our copper, which is our conductor, and the plastic, which is our insulator. An electrical circuit. An electrical circuit can also be a metal pathway printed on a board. These are best known as circuit boards. Now remember, circuit boards can be found in our cellular devices, in our laptops, computers, and even in transformers that provide us with electricity in our homes. So when it is a metal pathway printed on a board, we call them circuit boards. Now circuit boards are found in many modern day appliances in the world around us, in kettles, microwaves, and different appliances like that. Circuits can be small, which have a low voltage of electricity running through and can only power small devices, while others can be very large, like the circuits that bring electricity to our homes, which then would have a high voltage of electricity. Grade 6s. Now we are going to have a look at the components of a simple electrical circuit. So now a simple electrical circuit means it is a closed circuit, so it allows electricity to run through. And electrical circuits are made of different parts, and these different parts are called components. Now the three components of a circuit are as follows: a source of electrical energy, meaning a battery or a cell. Number 2, a conducting material such as wire made from a metal. So we could use our copper wire. So we need those wires to close our circuit off to allow electricity to flow. And then we have a device that transfers energy from a useful purpose such as a light bulb. So this device then transfers the energy and it lights up our light bulb. And components of a simple electrical circuit. A cell or battery is a source of electrical energy. The conducting wires connect the cell to the other components of the circuit. The output device converts electrical energy into useful energy. So let's just say we were hooking up a battery, a copper wire, and a light bulb. The useful energy would be light. The conducting wire then connects the output device back to the cell, allowing electricity to flow back and forth. This provides a closed system, a closed circuit, for the electrical energy to be transferred from the cell to the output device and back to the cell. This is called a circuit. Now, grade 6s, let's look at the output devices. A light bulb is used in torches and lamps. Now, a light bulb changes electrical energy into light energy. Buzzers are used for doorbells and in cell phones. So, a buzzer would create a sound. So, a buzzer will change electrical energy to sound energy. Motors are used in washing machines and drills, and a motor changes electrical energy into movement energy. These devices come in different sizes. So just remember, if we have a light bulb, it changes electrical energy to light energy. A buzzer, once we've pushed it, changes electrical energy into sound energy. And then we get a motor, which changes electrical energy into movement. So the movement of the washing machine or the drill. And these devices, remember, come in different sizes and shapes and use a different amount of voltage of electricity. Grade 6s, and that is it for today's lesson on electrical circuits. Please make sure that you have these notes in your workbook. Make sure that you have copied some of them down or that you've just taken some notes yourself. If you have got these notes printed out in the academic pack, or if you are able to print the PowerPoint, please make sure they are pasted in your workbook after this lesson. If you do not have your Natural Science and Platinum textbook, please, there is a scanned version of the textbook onto Google Classroom. There are notes in your textbook as well, so if you would like to read through those pages, you are more than welcome. But please, just for today, it was only the video lesson and to have these notes in your workbook. I hope you have a wonderful day further.